Hello everyone, how are we all doing? Hopefully everything's going through okay, but a bit of a mad rush to get things going. I hope everyone can hear me okay. Let me know if the volumes are too low, too high, whatever it may be. Hey everyone, how you doing? Welcome to Wednesday's question time. This is a live show, so today is the 14th of October. It's currently 11:10 at night here in the UK. And tonight is an hour or so live stream where you guys can ask me any questions you like whatsoever, mostly around game development, but honestly, could be anything you want. And we'll be doing going through answering as many questions as we can posed by you guys in chat. So on either Twitch or YouTube, put into chat your questions, and I'll try and answer them as best I can as we go through tonight. So if I don't get your question, don't worry, just keep posting it in there and hopefully I'll catch it. We do get quite a lot of questions, so I apologise up front if I do miss your question in tonight's show. So a couple of things whilst we're waiting for Unreal to load up, sorry. Couple of things, the Game Jam's starting on the 24th. That's 10 days away, so make sure you go to itch.io/jam/Ryan Laley, or Ryan Laley Jam, I think it's called. You can find it all on my website. You can just go on itch and search for Ryan Laley Jam or Ryan Laley, and you'll find it all there. Sign up to it. There are prizes for first place and runner-up places as well. So if you want to get a chance for winning those prizes, check that out. It is designed to be useful for beginners and advanced users of Unreal. So don't fret if you feel like you are too new at this. I've put special things in place ready for you guys so you know how to approach the problem. Okay, so more on that on the live stream on the 24th when we announce and release the Game Jam. Yeah, so let me just sort this all out because currently I've got it set up with the last week's stuff. Let me just get rid of that. If you want to support me, by the way, go on to patreon.com/Ryan Laley. Donation of $1 will get access to all my videos early before anyone else. And we're talking about sometimes months before anyone else. And that includes the FPS RPG series, which it's going to be exclusive to Patreons until it's completed. When it's complete, then you'll start seeing it coming out on public on YouTube. On top of that, don't forget to join Discord. One-to-one tutorials are now available, so if you want more details about that, you can email me at support@ryanlay.com and I can answer any questions you have regarding that. Places are available for November, so please keep that in mind if you want to get in as soon as possible. So hello, I've got chat on the side here. Hello, iLaw Jr., hello, Connor Close, Vander, Native Black, Amir, 3D Channel, Jaber, hello everyone, I can see you there. I'm just going to, whilst I'm sorting this out, if you want to just start throwing your questions into chat, we'll catch them and then I'll change the screen over. I think we're good to go over here. Okay. So, first question we've got at the moment here. Let me just see if I can switch that over to live view. Okay, so first question we've got here from Vander. Could you make a tutorial on Among Us clone? So the game Among Us, make a clone of it. Yes and no. Yes, I could. No, it would take too much time. It's quite an intricate program, really. It's deceptively simple. But it's not. It's got quite a lot underneath it as well. There are some mechanics we can try and show you how to do in one-off tutorials and videos and things like that. But yeah, it's too large to try and remake a whole game, especially all on my own. But we can try doing some little things of that. Kind of close. Hey Ryan, how would you go about moving on from the foot IK tutorials into using hand IKs within catching animations to catch an item? Catching items are a bit trickier. I'm actually experimenting at the moment with some hand IK stuff. At the moment, I'm working on an extension of it to make it so that when you run into a wall, the character puts their hands up against the wall. That's what I'm currently working on in my spare time when I get it. So I'm working on some hand IK stuff, but to get to catch an item, that's a bit trickier. You need to know what item you want to try and catch. So it will have to be something canned. It's going to be very difficult to make it not. It's going to look weird. There's a reason why a lot of games don't do it. There's a lot of reasons why games hide the players actually picking up something. They usually cut to another screen and have it magically in their hands. So it would be tricky, but theoretically, you need to know the object that's coming towards them and its position, and IK the hands to target that position. But it's going to look weird. Oh, apologies for yawning so much. I am, as you all know, I am perpetually tired. So yeah, a bit trickier to do. Well, you don't see it much. iLord Jr. The Ability System series, is that the whole series, or are you planning to add more? At the moment, as it stands, it's the whole series. I do want to revisit some older series, adding here and there bits and pieces of videos. Because people have suggested some things, they want me to add stuff to it. I will do, but at the moment, my priority is new or unfinished series. The Ability System series, as it is, functions. Okay. Bits people have asked for are extra things, so I will revisit at one point. But at the moment, my priority is on new series and new content. Hello, Brett. Thank you for the donation. And because of that, I'll go straight to your question. Hey, Ryan. Bird AI versus bird particle system. Depends on what you want it to do. I would avoid any kind of bird or flying creature AI if you can. It's very, very difficult. But if you need them to do something, then AI is the way to go. Oh, pardon. Now, there is a way to do some sort of flying AI, basic, like primitive one. Let's see if I can get it going. Let's make some primitive flying AI that follow you. So I'm going here, make a pawn. Call it flying AI. And when it loads up, I assume you guys can see my screen. I haven't checked. Yeah, you can. Cool. So yeah, so on here we're gonna add a static mesh, so we can actually see it, and we'll give it a. I don't know. What should we give it? We'll give it a sphere, I guess. Oh. Sphere. And we'll give it pawn movement. That'll do. And on this thing, you have we'll do it on the tick here. AI move 2. Pawn itself. Destination is get player character, and we'll get the location of the player character. Oh no, it's not. That's not the right one. Delete. Delete. Why can't I delete that? Hello. My delete key don't work. Yeah, well, what's going on there? There you go. That was weird. Okay, yeah, so get location. And that'd be a destination there. Let's make it move, but you don't want it to use the nav mesh. And the way you do that is, and I've totally forgotten. It's on here somewhere. Movement capabilities here. Tick on can fly. I think it's on here somewhere. Where is it? Here's that one, isn't it? And we're not going weird. Move to. Oh, it's this one we wanted. Not this one. It wants. Oh god, we need to get control AI controller. Get controller. Get AI controller rather. Self. Goal location. That radius. Yep. Turn off use pathfinding, and click compile. And this thing should. Oh. What's going on? Oh, I've got something weird code from last time we done this. Hang on. Let me remove that. Get rid of all this stuff. This is all from last week. Let's get rid of this. Just fix all this back up. Right, let's try it again. Right, that feels a bit better. Okay, so this guy should move. Hang on. AI controller class, AI controller. Goal location, get to location of the character. May turn this one off. Can't remember which one it is now. Work, damn you. If that's all I did last time I done this. I think that's all I did. Obviously not, because I would have missed something. It's activated, yeah. Let me just do on request failed. If I do print string, if that fails, let's double check that. Okay, that's failing. So why is that failing? Oh, there you go. Slow him down a bit. So change his max speed here to 200. And now he'll just follow me around. Yeah. And if you want him to remain at a certain height the whole entire time, one thing you could do, there's a few things you could do, but one thing you could do is on either on tick if you want, or you can, yeah, on tick here you can say set actor location, get actor location, and this one we want to split and split. X and Y are going to stay the same, but Z we're going to clamp. Minimum is going to be 200. Maximum do 1,000, 10,000. There we go. Plug that in, and then it should. Oh wait, If rather than do that with there, we do that over here. Although it should. Eh? It didn't work with that, did it? Why didn't it work with that? For example, I would like to add a vector to this. And say add 200 to it. It won't move unless I've got an actor. Maybe this thing's a bit busted. You should just go to its goal location. But it's basically just turn off use pathfinding on whatever movement control you're doing, and that should do it. But it depends if you want AI. Most birds in games don't do anything. They just circle around in loops. So let me know, Brett, what you're thinking your one will do. That'd be a bit more useful. Okay, who else we got here? Native black mouse click on UI, but you also want to click and target AI in the world. What's a good way to manage the focus of mouse? So let's just get rid of the flying thing. You want to, let's just disconnect that. You get the player controller. First things first, you set input mode to game and UI. And the focus of the you want to tell it to lose focus when it leaves the widget, which you can do. I don't know if I can quickly do it or not. You should be able to just click in the environment without it. Let's just do a quick example. So HUD, we'll do a quick little thing on here. Do a button. And click compile. And on here, we'll tell it to create the widget. And we'll choose HUD. Add to viewport. Okay. So now I've got a mouse button on the screen. Let's turn on the mouse cursor so I can actually see what I'm doing. Set show mouse cursor. Take that on. Okay. So my mouse cursor is still in the game, but if I button here will work regardless. Let's make something so I can actually click in the environment here. Let's do a cube, and we'll do a simple on-clicked event. On actor on-clicked. On this one, we'll just do a print string. So let's say hello whenever I click on it. To enable the clicking, you need to go onto the character, the blueprint for the controller, which we can do over here. Get player controller, and you want to do set. I forgot what it's called now. Input. No. Set click enable click events. There you go. Turn that on. Plug that in. Okay, so on here, if I drag this block out there, push play. So now I can click on that one there and click on this one there. It does this. There's no focus loss. The only time focus needs to be captured is if you've got widgets within widgets within widgets, and you have to control where your mouse is going to focus on then. I'm just clicking once on each one. It works. Flip are the real. Add to viewport or add to player screen. So if you're doing split screen, that's when you use player screen. It won't show on one of them, not both. Viewport does the whole screen. Player screen is the split screen stuff. Chris, how do I place a decal that does not show on my player when I walk over it? Okay, pretty simple. On your player character, click on the mesh. So in the details here, type in word decal, and you'll see the option for receive decal. Turn it off. That's all you have to do there, and it will no longer receive decals. Connor, I would recommend faking the catch. I'd have to have a look at how they do it in the actual like Madden games, but I would imagine it's faked. You could do it by K, I guess, but it'll just line them up close enough, and when the ball gets near them, they'll just like catch it, attach it to a spline, and or not spline, a bone, and catch it. How do I rotate Jim? How do I rotate a gun mesh to face X instead of Y? The guns in my third-person shooter template point a different direction than the meshes I want to use. If you've got a imported mesh that's facing the wrong way, hang on. Where is it? Okay, so you've imported a mesh, for example, and it's facing the wrong way. So to fix that in Engine, if you go open up your mesh, scroll down till you find where is it? Import settings, and in there you'll find this is a bad example because this is their one. Hang on, I don't have nothing I could use. Let me import something. Documents, modeling, FBX. Let's import in this simple battery thing I use for work. Right, import that in. Okay, so you want to. Yeah, great. Oh, bollocks. Never mind. So if you wanted to rotate something in the mesh, open up the mesh, and you'll find a details panel, either on static or skeletal. Go down and you find import settings. Find the transform. You'll see import rotation, and you can rotate it in the Z by 90 degrees, and click re-import up top, and it'll turn it around. So just do minus 90 or 90, depending which way you have to go, to get it facing in the X. And that's how you do that. Gabrielis. In a multiplayer game, what controls the UI widget content updates? Is it the client pulls the stats and update UI, or server push data to all clients? Server all the time. So the server is containing all the data. Clients are up telling the server what their new data is. The server will check that if that's the case, and update it if it needs to be. If the server will always be king. So if it disagrees with the server always takes preference. So the server will tell all the clients what their UIs should be. But yeah, server side always. No worries, Chris. Connor close. Socket within an interactable area close enough to animation. Yep, yeah, that would be good enough the way to do it. And you can, and once you've got the socket location, you can like lerp it towards that location, I guess. Damos plays. I just transferred back to UE4 after trying Unity for school. One question: is it possible to make an inventory with pickup system using line trace bus single channel in C++? Of course it is. Yeah, it's not much different from anything else. Yeah, of course it is. I don't know how else to answer that. Yes, yes it is. Zayna Draws, how do you feel about misleading game ads or update video? Mr. Boss for the win videos, for example. I'm not familiar with Mr. Boss. Let me just look at my phone. Mr. Boss. Mr. Boss for the win. Never heard of it. Where is it? Where is this? fake ads. Is it fake ads? I don't know. What is it? Oh, is this one of those channels that just make up rumors? Yes, it is. It's someone who's making up rumors. I hate them without, like, 100% hate people that make up rumors with no substantiated reports. And it's always bollock ones as well, like going, Rockstar working on GTA 6. No shit. Of course they are. But, yeah, I hate that stuff. I see it all the time for auto films. Films ones do me nutting. I hate them. Ado Benitez, why aren't you working for Unreal yet? You know so much about the engine. I don't live in America. Sadly, I live in Essex, England. Yeah. If they ever came knocking for me, I'll gladly hear them out. So anyone from Epic watching this, I doubt you are, but if you are, give me an email. Give me a call. Damos Plays, are you planning to make any C++ tutorial series anytime soon? It won't be this year. Maybe next. Just my advice every time with C++ coding is learn to do C++ coding first and foremost. Nothing to do with games, just C++ coding. Once you understand the basics of C++ coding, then you could start worrying about Unreal 4. But by that point, you probably should know how to do it. A lot of people come into Unreal as a beginner and go, well, I want to use C++. Okay, have you used C++ before? And they're like, no. I'm like, great. Here's a book. Here's a website. Go learn C++. Do a Hello World first. Do all the basic stuff first. Do sorting algorithms, whatever it may be. Do all that first. And then, once you're happy with that, come looking for Unreal. A lot of people trying to run before they can walk. But, yes, it will happen. But not this time, not anytime this year. This year, I'm pretty much blocked out with content on the books. I know what I'm making until up to Christmas. But next year, still up in the air a little bit. Yeah. AMTI, is it possibility for destructible character on good FPS? If you mean FPS by a frame per second, depends on the computer more so than anything else. But yeah, if anything's possible with the destructibility stuff, but it all depends on what you're trying to run it on and the level of fidelity you want. Hi, Waltech. AMTI, you use the chaos stuff. I would recommend. So you want to destroy enemies and break them apart? Okay. I'm not too sure what Doom Eternal's method is, but it's not physics based. I don't think. I think, but when I've looked at it, it looks like predetermined locations can be shot off. It's quite granular, but they can all be shot off, and they're just separate meshes that are switched out. That looks like the way they've done it. Oh. Yeah, but I think you recommend doing a particle system for it. Third person jump animation. None of them come to mind. Let's say there's quite a few ways to do it. The way they do it, I ain't got it in here. The way they do it in Unreal's not too bad. When they do a jump start, jump loop, and a jump end, that's pretty good. But it all depends what type of game you're making. Oh, okay. Walltech Gaming and Dev have a question. Made map, but somehow there are no lights in the map when building lights. Any ideas? Any ideas? Well, first of all, double check you actually got lights in there. Then Don't know. I'd have to have a look at your map to get a better look of it. It sounds like a map issue less than a lighting issue. Stefan B. With Niagara 425, how much has changed under the hood? Any outdated tutorials still usable? For Niagara's pretty much brand new, so 425, any tutorial you find on Niagara, most of it is going to be the same. There's one thing they did change between the preview version and the release version, and that's just the appearance of it, but it is the same thing. It just looks a little, it's just moved slightly differently. That's the only difference. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. An in-depth weapon system in the future weapons inventory system. So Chris, the FPS RPG series is going to have that. So the FPS RPG series is going to have an in-depth weapon system to the point where you can swap parts of the gun out, and it'll have IK animations on the gun, so the hands go to reload correctly and things like that. You can customize all of it on there to get stats and things like that. That's all coming in the FPS RPG series for patrons. Damus plays opinion on UE426 new water plugin. Looks cool. Can't wait to try it. I haven't got the preview builds. I don't have time to test out preview builds, but I'm looking forward to trying it out. Nazi, I should create a Nazi zombie game series. Just an idea. Could do. I teach my students in real life how to do Nazi zombie type games. So in my second year students, I introduce them with AI, and we do zombies, and introduce them things like root motion and AI movement and AI attacking and swarm mentalities, things like that. So yeah, we could, that is a possibility. We could do something like that. If people really want a zombie mode AI stuff, we can do. The next AI series, melee AI series, once that's finished, the next one will be stealth AI, and then we'll look at doing zombie stuff maybe. AM2, which is the best option to add many enemies without affecting a performance? If you're familiar with the prototype franchise, they had many NPCs in the city, but running smooth even on an old PC. Okay, so there is a key difference between seeing loads of enemies and being loads of enemies. Enemies are loaded in as of and when they're needed. So games set in a city like Prototype, the buildings will occlude a lot of the enemy AI. So if enemies aren't being rendered on screen or nearby to the player, their AI is turned off. They're not doing nothing, not calculating nothing. They're not nothing happening at all. It's only when they come in range or viewable by the player, that's when they start doing something. And if you really look at it, if you really look at it closely, you'll probably count up how many enemies are actually on the screen all at once, and you're looking at quite a low number probably, especially like active ones. If they're dead, it doesn't really matter because there's no AI running. But you're deceiving the player. You making them think there's loads, but it's not really. But actually count it up. Sit there and count how many AI controlled enemies you think you see, and it won't be that many. Same goes for like games like GTA. If you ever look at on the screen at any one time and look at all the NPCs you see in the screen, there's only a maximum of like 20 NPCs at a time, probably. Not many. Chris, how do I join the Patreon? You head to patreon.com/Ryan Laley, and there's various tiers you can join. It's up to you which one you want to use. They all get access to all my videos before anyone else, but then there are other tiers as well. Some get project files, some get voting rights, so on and so forth. Oh, good catch, my tech. I didn't catch that one. Let's have a look. Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, good. Yeah, well done. That's the one we want to change. Thank you. Good one. Good catch, Matek. iLord Jr., are you planning to do an MMORPG series, or you think it will be a huge task? No. I'm not going to do an MMORPG series. I can't remember who does it, but there's someone online showing you how to do MMORPG series in Unreal. That's not an MMORPG series. That is someone trying to make an MMORPG gameplay, but in single player. MMOs take hundreds of people to make. It's so dense. There's no way in hell I could probably get there. Maybe do a very, 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 very basic one, but I'm not going near that one just anytime soon. Oh, let me get a mouse over. Sorry if I'm making you yawn, mate. I know I just don't sleep. I'm always working, man. It's terrible. They must play. What's your opinion on people that say things like, "I'm creating a game like GTA 5. It's going to be done in about 3 weeks." Those people are usually the least educated about games development. And it's kind of insulting to any game developer out there if you say, "Oh yeah, I can do that in 5 weeks." Like, no. These things are hard. They're hard to make. That's why it's a miracle that any game actually gets released. So always congratulate people for completing projects, no matter if they're good, bad, whatever. Completing one is hard enough as it is. Brett Canny. So yeah, to anticipate a landing, you do when you're falling, you do a line trace down and detect the distance. And when you hit a certain distance, that's when you start doing like landing, change to a landing lerp, and it will go into the animation then. Ryan, your forehead is warm. Okay. El Boda, have you seen the trailer for Bazinga documentary? I have. For those who don't know, Bazinga or Ethan Payne, it used to be my student. And I actually recorded an interview for that documentary, but my bit's been mostly cut. I'm in it still, but I'm mostly cut. So I'm actually in the Bazinga stuff. Ethan was a good student of mine back in 2014. He was my student. He was a good student. That's when he became a big YouTube star during that time as well. So it's kind of cool. But it's a shame my bit got cut from the documentary. It's a bummer. But hey ho. That's the way it goes. It got cut because Ethan got diagnosed with COVID, and so they introduced that story element and cut my bit out, all the education bit out. But I say I'm still in it, but not as much as we would have been. Swazzo, was he fat when you taught him? I won't say fat, but not as fit as he currently is. Yes. Hi SB. Novice Dream. Is it okay not to initialize starting location of blueprint actors that have movement on the scene? There's a lot of double negatives in that. Hang on. Is it okay not to initialize starting location of blueprint actors that have movement on the scene? I'm not too sure what you mean, novice. There. Jordan Johnson, can you do a mini tutorial on apply force and impulse? Sure. So, actually, I've got this thing I can click on, haven't I? We'll do this one. I have an impulse on this. So, for physics objects, the mesh itself needs to be the root. So you drag that onto the root, make that the root. Then you want to simulate physics by ticking the simulate physics box, and we'll do an on clicked here. And on clicked. So you got add impulse, for example. When you add an impulse, you add a direction here. The larger the number, the greater the impulse. So if I were to put in, let's go and actually let's do it so where we click on it. So if I get what's it? D project. Screen to world, and we get player controller, and we'll just move these. And screen position we'll use get mouse position on viewport. And then we'll add an impulse to this. The impulse is going to be this world direction by a large amount. So I'm going to multiply that by a float. And let's do 5 0 0 0 0 0. Compile. So impulse is like if you flick it. Like that. Yeah, it's like a flick. Whereas a apply force. Is it apply force? No, hang on. Apply. No, add. What is it called? Add force. Sorry, add force. Add force is like a booster rocket. It pushes it. So if I put that there and put that there, it's not going to look much different because we only click on it once. It needs to be a bit higher force. You need more force for than impulse. I'm going here. Add a couple of extra zeros. See if that does any difference. Probably won't because it needs to be pushed. But there you go. Okay, so add force is like pushing it with a booster rocket or something like that. Like acceleration. Whereas impulse is like flicking it. SB, do you have any recommendations for level design tools? Pen and paper. Yeah, all I ever use is pen and paper. Do you know how to isolate a color from a texture, remove it, or mask it out and output the result? Yes. So you have a texture here. Let's just pick one. Let's just pick. I'll pick a multicolored one if I can. Not that one. We'll use this one. It's got all sorts in it. Okay, so this color, this thing here. Ooh. If you want to isolate just one color out of it, you've got quite a few ways. So, for example, if you just want to get red, green, and blue, that's really easy. Just drag out from red, green here, like so. Or if you want to mask it, you can do a component mask, and you can do just 2, 1, or 3, whatever. But to get a other color in here, you get the vector up, choose what color you want to grab. So if I say, I don't know, let's go for mostly red because that's mostly red there. Actually, let's do something a bit different. Let's go something like that, whatever. And from this, you want to, what do you have to do? Is divide? Can't remember now. I think you divide this by this. Or alternatively, you could subtract, I guess, and then get the inverse. So if you do subtract. So subtract this color here. So let's make this a bit easier. Let's change this to just red. So it's more clear that we've got this. So I'll get the color out, whatever it is. We're just using basic red for now, but obviously, as I said, if it's just red, green, blue, you just use these ones. But if it's red, we're going to subtract red from it. And you should see, if you expand open the box here, you can see what's left. And that'll get you what you want. If you want to just select just the red part, then once you've got the subtraction, do 1 minus, and it'll invert it. So now, you should get this. Not this, that's not what we want. No, not that. You want to if it. If. Okay. If A, so if this is equal to nothing, you want to output. If it's greater than no, if it's less than or equal to nothing, we want to output 1. 1. If you want to not do that, then we output that. So this should turn into just the white spots for where the red is, I think. No, hang on, let's put a multiplier in there. Alternatively, let's switch these around then. Let's put that one there and that one there. Come on. Never too sure if this is finished updating or not. Just plug it into there. Oh, sorry, yeah, my bad. That's why it doesn't work. It's because these are not the same. What would be the best way of doing this? Sorry, my son was crying. Okay, we do it equal to 0. Go in there. Must be a type float. Oh, you can't do it like that. Okay. Mask. Probably a better way of doing it, but maybe that's not right. Let's see what divide does. Divide. Nothing. I don't know. I have to have a look into that one. How you can like siphon the one little out. Damos Plays. Have you ever published a game next to Blob or plan to publish one in the future? I'm currently working on a game. It's still early in development, but yes, there is a game coming. I'm making it now. Let's scroll down to the bottom here. Angus, in one of your older Question Time streams, you showed how to make an object glow. Can a similar method be applied to images? Yes. Yeah, it can be applied to anything. One last quick question, Brett, if you have time. Is there a difference between using a sequence node versus just continuing the executable through multiple nodes? Just organizational? Yeah, just organizational mostly. Pretty much, yeah. It's organizational. Kart racing tutorial in the future? I'd like to do a racing game tutorial. I haven't really made racing games before, so it'd be nice to try and make a racing game. I personally would like to make like a Wipeout one with a hovercraft type stuff. There we go. The game I'm making is a PC and console game. Olamai David, how do I implement nav mesh in blueprints? What do you mean, Olamai? Why would you do that? I don't know what you're trying to do. What are you trying to achieve? A -1 multiplied by red. -1. What? This -1. No. I don't know, Pixel. I'll have a look into it. I think I've done something like it before, but I can't remember how I did it. Oh wait, I know. No, you can't. If no, I'll have to have a look into it. Thank you for the donation, Brett. So Pixel, I see what you're asking. Yeah, we tried that. So you subtract the red. And if you 1 minus it, what happens is you get the negative of the other 2 colours that are remaining. So you get like the output of the white that you want. I guess then we could try doing it. No. You want to get rid of the other bits that are not part of the red colour. And so I have done it before, but I just can't remember how I did it. If we mask them all out. That was G. That was B. And then you multiply these together. There you go. And then from there, oh no, not from that. Then you want to mask this and just take 1 channel. Well, in fact, that's it. You just multiply them all together and that should give you the colour. I think that's it. That looks like it. So to test that out, let's change the colour here. Change the blue. So this blue, because it's not actually on the thing, you see it's selecting only parts of it. So that's a cool little thing. If we change it to like a pink. And there you go. It kind of does it. Okay. We'll answer a couple more questions and then we have to call it a night, I'm afraid. So Olamide David, you can't do that. Nav meshes are calculated before runtime, so you can't just add meshes to it. You need to. It's all pre-calculated, so the way you would get around that, you can't just add a nav mesh onto it. But you add the nav mesh in the world where you think it would be. And then in your project settings, there is an option to make it so it's dynamic. So if I go nav mesh, and if I scroll down, you'll see somewhere around here. Nav. Where is it? So where is it? There is a way to make it dynamic, and I can't remember where it's called. But you can search off it online. It's called Dynamic Nav Mesh Generation. And it makes it, say, dynamic and draw around things. It uses this in navigation enforcing. Yeah, not too sure. It's round here somewhere. No. Let's have a look down here. Navigation mesh. Oh, there you go. Runtime generation, it's called. So you change that from static to dynamic, and now it'll update throughout the level. So if you put something inside that mesh field, it will update itself and update the pathfinding. Yeah. And the final question, Michael Jones, when creating game saves, is it better to have all the player character variables on game controller, player controller, or have them on the player character? It depends on what the variables are. If it's specific to the pawn, so like the health, skill level, whatever it may be, of the pawn, that would be on the player character, which then you can pass on to the save file. If it's something to do with the settings, things like that, then it all has to eventually go onto the save file where you're saving it. Then when you load it up, you break it into the player controller, game mode, player pawn, whatever it may be, based on what they are. So if it's something physical, quote unquote physical, like health, abilities, skills, leveling, whatever it may be, that may be applicable for the pawn. If it's something to do with controls, input, settings, things like that, then it'd be best for probably the player controller. If it's useful for the game mode and the world that you're in, the game mode and level blueprint are best for that. So there's a variety of places where you can place these sort of things. But yeah, that's about up to you. Unfortunately, that's all we have time for today. So every Wednesday we do this. So if you didn't get a question answered, I'm sorry. But if you come by next Wednesday, we'll try and answer them as best I can there. Thank you everyone for joining me tonight, and thank you for everyone supporting me every single week and enjoying these live streams. Hopefully you enjoy these question times and get some answers, and we'll try and do our best to answer them. So thank you so much. A few things to look out for. This Saturday is a live stream tutorial on how to do targeting system like you see in Star Wars Squadrons. So we're going to show you how to do that. As for videos, you're going to see videos coming out for... what are you going to see? You're going to see more skill system stuff coming out. There's more online stuff coming out as well, and a few odds one-off videos. Patrons can look forward to more FPS RPG, more online, more melee AI, and what else? A few other things too. Don't forget the game jams happening on the 24th. Sign up to it on itch. It's suitable for everyone of all experiences, so check that out and sign up, and you could be in chance to win the prize. And that's kind of it. So thank you so much for watching me tonight, and thank you so much for your support as always. And don't forget, you can always support me over on patreon.com/RyanLady, where you get access to videos, voting, Discord, project files, one-to-one tuitions, so on and so forth. And that's it for me, and I'll see you all on Saturday. my birthday is on Friday, so I'll see you on Saturday when I'm 1 year older. Bye, everyone.